All right. So we're going to be starting off today with just making it a simple class. We're going to talk about, the basics of when it comes to Dark Souls and some of the lore that's going to be going on. Not very much in the beginning, kind of a lot of speculative stuff. We're going to kind of dive deeper as we go into each area in the game and kind of go further into it, kind of answer some questions that we may make or anything else like that. But right now, we're kind of just going to go through making each character, making a character in general. I just like going with warrior at the beginning. We're not going to do anything crazy, just kind of standard build, but we'll try to get as much of this stuff as we can. I do want to start with a master key just so we can, actually maybe not, maybe because we can go through all the different areas. So I might just start with maybe just a pendant just to do it. Want to make this guy very basic just because there's nothing crazy. Oh, I have to give him a name. Let's go with getting a all vibe for this guy. I will let cutscenes
In
play
the
through
age of ancients,
and let them
the
say their
world was
story.
unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire. And with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone scales. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers. And man sees not light, but only endless nights. amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign.
So we learn a lot there from the beginning and opening cutscene. It kind of tells us a lot about what's going on. I'll talk about it right after this is done.
Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
All right. So, like I said, we learned a lot from that beginning cutscene. We learn about the Four Souls. We learn about the Age of Fire, and we learn about the age before the Age of Fire, with dragons and not very much else, where the dragons kind of ruled over. Then we figure out that there is the four great souls, and you know, they kind of get distributed amongst people. One goes to Gwyn, one goes to Nito, one goes to the Witch of Islith, and the other goes to the Pygmy. You know, people forget about. A lot of speculation on who the Pygmy is. People think it's you, the player character. Other people just think it's some, you know, random. But then we figure out that Gwyn and everybody else want to take down the dragons because they're kind of tired of that. So Gwyn recruits Seath the Scaleless to combat the dragons because, you know, Seath somehow figures out how to take down the dragons themselves. We don't find that out until a little bit later, but we'll talk about that soon. And then after, you know, the dragons are put to the end, we figure out that the Age of Fire is starting to dwindle, and the fire is starting to die. So they're trying to do whatever they can to keep the fire going. We'll kind of figure out, you know, some of the other things, some of the other actions that people try to do, or some individuals try to do in order to, you know, keep the Age of Fire going in a second. But then we also figure out, or we learn about the undead, us. In the land of Lorethrough, the undead are gathered and brought up to the north, to the Undead Asylum, which is where we're at. And we can only assume that we were rounded up and thrown into a cell, live to rot for the rest of our days. The dark sign is, you start with the dark sign, so you know, the dark sign signifies an accursed undead. Those branded with it are reborn after death, but will one day lose their mind and go hollow. Death triggers the dark sign, which returns its bearer to the last bonfire. So this is a bonfire. This is where you sit, this is where you rest. Once you die, you respawn here because of the dark sign. You realize that Lorethrough is probably filled with a lot of undead, and then the hollows that we just fought or that we just walked past are probably ones that were once human and then went hollow themselves and kind of lost their humanity, as they say. So that was the trigger of a boss fight. We run past it in order to save ourselves. To another bonfire. I had taken off all my clothes because of mechanics of this game and whatever people probably know. So realistically, what this playthrough will be is me just talking about stuff, playing the game, talking about stuff, speculation, all that other stuff. A lot of the nitty-gritty stuff of Dark Souls has already been kind of talked about, but I just like playing the game, and I've never had a chance to kind of do something. So what I'm gonna do is just play through the game and talk about it. So we picked up a shield, the heater shield, and the longsword. Longsword's pretty much a widely used standard straight sword. It's only, there's a short sword, but it's, kind of a bit better. And the heater shield, it's pretty good. It's just a standard shield. You don't really learn much. And then the hard leather stuff, just basic armor. Once again, you don't really learn much from this stuff. Now we come up to our first fog gate of the game. Kind of see where we were. The cool thing, the cool design about Dark Souls, or at least the first one, is level. I really like the design of Dark Souls. Really, it's really cool. It just makes you feel like everything is tied together, and you're always able to kind of see where you've been and where you're going. All right, so first NPC we get to talk to, the guy looks familiar. Looks like the guy who dropped that key down into the basement for us. Key that opens up dungeons. So this is probably him. We can only assume. We look up. There's a hole in the ceiling and a bunch of rubble that he's laying on top of. Let's see what he has to say.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Of course. I'll hear you out.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission. But perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen. And thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite. Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
Alright, so the undead treasure, these dull green flasks, with Estus at a bonfire, fills HP. Oh, that's weird. It's linked to the Fire Keepers. The Dark Tales also make reference. An emerald flask from the Keeper's soul. She lives to protect the flame and dies to protect it further. So this is kind of where we first learn about the Fire Keepers, and what their significance is. So as you can see, they're tied. The Estus flasks are tied to the Fire Keepers. From the Keeper's soul, they protect the flame and die to protect it further. So, their whole thing is to protect the bonfire, or even what we could say like the Age of Fire. And then he gives us a key, which is kind of neat. Just telling us about the undead Northern Undead Asylum. It's an undead prison segmented by countless iron bars. Even if an undead were to escape from a cell, passage to the outside world would not be gained easily. So we don't kind of know what that means yet, just because we haven't really explored yet. But we also learn about, where our next step is to go. Tells us we have to go there's a prophecy that tells us once we make pilgrimage to the undead asylum, uh, once you escape it, you must go and ring the bell of awakening, and then you can find the fate of hollows or the undead. So it kind of gives us an idea of where we need to go or what we need to do as our first task once we get out of this place. Yo, let's eat cake. What's up? And then, as you can see, our boy dies as he fades into the existence of the game. Let's come down here real quick, open up this shortcut in case we die. Here we use the key that we were just given, and we should be coming up on some more hollows over here. Here we see our first hollow soul. Yeah, sorry, man. I'm kind of just playing through the game right now. I'm not even get the big pilgrim key. So we just fought the asylum demon. We can assume that that was what was, he's up here. If we look up above, camera can't kind of see it, but the whole upper area, the whole upper ceiling is kind of destroyed. We can assume that the asylum demon was fighting our soldier friend on top of the asylum, and that's kind of what bashed him through the ceiling up on top. You can hear some stomping down below. That is another demon, but we can't quite get to him yet. So he drops the big pilgrim's key. Opens the doors to open the key to the inner door of the undead asylum main hall. Big key belonging to a chosen undead pilgrim. But this chosen undead knows not what this pilgrimage has in store. So we can only assume that it opens up this door here. And as it says, we do not know what is in store for this pilgrimage that we are about to go on. Come up here as we see, earlier it said that it's not easy to leave the undead asylum, and as you can see, the reason is because it's on a mountaintop all on its own. Nobody would understand, and nobody knows how you would be able to actually, get out of here. It's just kind of on its own thing, and the only way out is to the very edge here. We did just pick up a soul, the lost soul, soul of the lost undead. Souls are the source of all life, and whether undead or even hollow, one continues to seek them. So we can assume that everybody seeks souls here. Everybody's here is to just gain souls. Souls equal power. Souls equal life. Once you start losing souls, you might become hollow. That's really the only thing that you can do. So as
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lorethrough.
Lorethrough, level up, kindle bonfire. So that's kind of telling you what you need to do. This is where we find out that, you know, on pilgrimage, an undead has to go to the land of ancients, which is Lorethrough, which is this place. This is where we're at. We figure out that we are at we are at the Firelink Shrine. So Firelink Shrine, you know, kind of don't really know much about it. You just know that you're here. As you get chopped off by the big raven that's over there, you meet this guy. You see him, and he's kind of just hanging out, doing his thing. But you know, we have some souls. Let's level up. Let's see some stuff that we can do. Be right back. So, we kind of assume that the first thing that we ought to do is go talk to this guy here.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival.
Yes, sir, I am.
Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are actually two bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
So, he actually gives us some really good information. He tells us about two Bells of Awakening, actually. And then also, you know, that we weren't the first ones here. That there have been multiple undead seeking pilgrimage. And Lord only knows who those could be. But you find out that there are two Bells of Awakening. One up above and one down below. As you, kind of glance around, you see that there's a path down and then there's a path up. Typically the path up is a lot easier because it's kind of the way the game intends you to go and stuff like that. You can't come over here where there is a graveyard down to the catacombs, but once you get down there you kind of realize that I should be going this way. We did pick up some humanity Humanity is kind of what you think it would be. It would be humanity. Uh, the tiny black sprite found on corpses. Use one to gain one humanity and restore a large balance of HP. Typically, it's your whole HP bar, but they don't say that. This black sprite is called humanity, but little is known about its true nature. If the soul is the source of all life, then what distinguishes the humanity we hold within ourselves? So we'll kind of talk about what humanity is as we go through. We don't really know yet. We have no idea. We just kind of know that it's something that, is in all of us. And I guess once somebody loses their humanity, they lose, who they are. They lose, their self-worth and stuff like that. So I guess they go hollow once everything is. Typically, people would start walking around, and as you come up here, you see this guy. This bob cut guy. Big nose, fat, that's me to say, but big nose bob cut.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted.
No, we are not.
Petrus of Thurland. Have you business with us?
With us?
If not, I'd prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
So he tells you to, us. Like, we don't know who that is. If we talk to him again, you can kind of know who us is. But he also is kind of telling you to keep your distance.
Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance. But I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you.
So he gives us a copper coin. Copper coin. Coin made of copper. Shows face. Face shows Old Man McLough, god of medicine and drink. Even coins of great value in the world of men have little value in Lord John, where they accept the currency as souls. Those who dream of returning to the outside world are fond of carrying these around. So we can kind of understand or kind of guess that this guy also came on pilgrimage from the outside world. Probably keeps these coins to remind him of the outside world, because as you see, coins mean nothing. They mean absolutely nothing. Everything is currency. Everything you pay for is with souls. Let's talk to him again and see what he says.
Oh my, you again. Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods.
And he asks you to join the covenant. Sure, why not? We have nothing better to do. We don't know anything else.
Now let me share my miracles. Only their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith.
So, you get to learn Jester from him, shrug, well. You can enter his covenant again, purchase items, and then this is where you kind of see what miracles are, and then the tools that they use. The talisman, medium for casting miracles of the god. Standard talisman issued to common believers. Equip this to cast miracles. 2 miracles from a scroll at a bonfire. Most miracles have limited number of uses. Then let's look at the Thurland talisman. Also, a medium for casting miracles of the god. This talisman is only granted to high-ranking Thurland clerics. Has high miracle adjustment. So, this is kind of the only way you can use this, or if you can be given this, is by being a high cleric, or high-ranking cleric. So, there are other things that we see here, other miracles. These are just standard miracles that you get from, and you see, they heal you, they do other things. Homeward is exceptionally cool because you kind of learn a little more about. Would normally link to one's homeland. Only the curse of the undead has distorted its power, redirecting casters to a bonfire. Or perhaps for undead, this serves as a home. Force, this quick acting miracle inflicts no damage, but propels foes back and defends against arrows. Cleric knights use this miracle when charging into enemy mobs. Seek guidance. Guidance facilitates communications between undead, but their value varies greatly. A balance of faith and wisdom is required. And then heal. The cast a miracle, the caster learns a tale of the gods and says a prayer to be blessed by its revelations. Heal is the shortest of such miraculous tales. So this kind of just tells you, okay,
Come again. The effectiveness of the teachings depend upon your faith.
this tells you, oh, you need faith in order to use these. And as you see, I don't have very much. Let's see what else
I
he
will
has to
teach
say.
you miracle. My companions are Milady and her young knights. She is young, but burdened by an undead mission. We are her defenses, to keep her from harm.
So we realize, okay, his companions are Milady, which seems like she might be of somebody of high ranking in the church or in the covenant that he's in. And 2 young knights that'll
An
be with him.
undead mission? Regrettably, I cannot share that with you. But you are my pupil. Perhaps if you show your faith.
So then, as the church does, they kind of make you pay for information or pay to show your faith. I don't have that,
I'm afraid
unfortunately.
that may be difficult.
So we won't know
Come
what
again. The effect.
their mission is. We do know that the lady is on a undead mission of themselves. A little bit different from ours, seeming as they're not here, but we don't know that yet. We don't know exactly what their mission is here. Another soul of a lost undead. Let's look at the covenant that we were. Not see that. So we were joined to the way of the white. As we can understand, that is a covenant with the gods. Then let's come down here. Open up the chest that we find. A cracked red eye orb. Morningstar and talisman. Homeward bones. And last but not least, Lloyd's Tower. Homeward bones are very much like the homeward miracle. Bonfires are fueled by bones of the undead. In rare cases, the strong urge of their previous owners to seek bonfires enchants their bones with a homeward instinct. This will bring you back to the last bonfire that you're at. Talisman utilized by Allfather Lloyd. Lloyd's cleric knights to hunt down the undead. Will access this recovery within a limited area. In the outside world, the undead are cursed creatures. And Lloyd's cleric knights are widely praised for their undead hunts. This blessed talisman blocks undead recovery, allowing the knights to fight with impunity. So we figure out that, the unholy knights, the holy knights of Lloyd, go after for people like us and undead. We realize that they are hunting us down to bring us to the asylum. To kind of put a end to the, to purge out any undead. Now let's also look at the cracked red eye orb. So it invades another world. The cracked red eye orb allows players to temporarily imitate this ability normally limited to the dark wraiths of Kath. So this is the first time we hear about the dark wraiths and Kath. And then there was one more thing that we got. It was the Morningstar. Uniquely, this hammer inflicts thrust damage and causes bleed. So we just know that that is also something that clerics use. And now we start heading up. First thing we see are like these undead people who who have gone hollow, who have lost their humanity. As we make our way up, we find another lost soul of the undead. Let's see what seems to be occupied. Fight this one. Another lost soul of the undead. That's all we can do. See a gate that right, can't get past it. And as we walk up, we enter a fight more hollows. See that these are all soldiers, so warriors, I think. But there are. Now we do have a few different paths that we can go. We can head through that wall fog, or down here. Get some more goodies. So there should be another thing here. We can make our way up here. Down. Find another ticket. Oh, two things just died. Rubbish with no value. Who in their right mind would bother carrying around this around? Oh, you're right. Who would bother? Alright, brother. Right there. Right, now we can go through the pick up another soul. Dragon. Or Drake. Technically, it would be a Drake, because it doesn't fit the typical dragon criteria of being on all four legs. See, we are on a Blade Lord sign right there. But we really don't have to worry about that.
Well now, you seem to have your wits about you, hmm? Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale.
So we can purchase a few things from him. We can purchase repair powder. Kind of helps us repair stuff. Throwing knives, fire bombs that we've already had, Lloyd talismans again, dried finger, online play item, and orange soapstone. And Lord drawn, the flow of time is distorted. And messages allow undead to assist or deceive one another. So these are like messages that people will tell you about. Ooh, a resident key. Key to the residence in the undead burg. Simple, sturdy design of the locks in the burg keep out of unaudited visitors. But this is a standard key in these parts and will open several residences. So we'll buy that real quick. Could also get some other weapons that you would want. Shields, swords, daggers. Nothing really too crazy to tell us about anything here. Well, the bow tells us how to use it. Just shields. There are the warrior's round shield does tell us round wooden shield crafted in Lorethrough, decorated with the ancient Labrise axe. The giant trees in Lorethrough are distant offspring of the great stone arch trees. The shield inherits their properties, and the wood reduces magic damage. So you realize that the arch trees can fight back magic or help reduce magic. Chain stuff, same thing that we saw Mr. Crestfallen wearing. And that'll be it.
Thank you, kind.
As we make our way through. No reason to go that way. It'll just kind of loop us up at the back around there to go up to the top. Can't go that way yet. Open up this right here. And we see that there is an item here. Wouldn't you? There goes the Grave Lord that we were talking about earlier. Wooden shield. As a white dragon. And we find our first bonfire. So, as we're here, let's use up some of the souls that we have gathered and try to level up. Ooh, spooky number for us to have. Alright, as we get here, we still only have 10 S's class. We're gonna try and make it where we don't have to use them at all. Ow. Up and we get a black firebomb. First instance of black firebombs that we see. Could have got some back at the Firelink Shrine. Figure out they're just a more powerful version of the standard firebombs. Up here there is an ammo. Resident key to open that area up. Let's deal with this pesky crossbow guy that'll be up here. Yes. So as we get it here, go through people's houses who are, long abandoned. They don't need the house. They don't need their stuff, so we'll just take it. Here we find some old pine resin. Rare pine resin which emits cold sparks, applies lightning to the right hand. and affected weapon inflicts rare lightning damage, makes it effective against targets which are resilient to both magic and fire. Very effective against dragon family foes. So we figure out that the dragons here are, you know, weak to lightning. See at the beginning of the game in the cutscene that when you use the bolts to peel off the scales of dragons. Now we do encounter our first Black Knight here. Big, scary. We don't know what he is. We don't know who he is, where he's from. All we can do is fight him. Hope that we will. We'll do some cheese tactics. Make it a little easy. Why not? Start sauce. Why not cheese and backstabs? Get the opportunity to, right? Oop. Easy work. We don't get a weapon from it. That's unfortunate, but we'll learn more about them soon. Here we get our first ring, blue tearstone ring. Rare gem called tearstones has the uncanny ability to sense imminent death. This blue tearstone from Katarina boosts the defense of its wearer while in danger. This is the first time we hear about the land of Katarina. We'll probably learn more about them in just a bit, or we meet somebody from there. Somehow here for another ambush where a guy tries to throw down a flaming barrel at us. So now we have two ways we can go down. We can go either up or down. As you see here, this is locked. We don't have a master key, so we can't open it. So our only option is to go up. But let's get this pesky. Oh my god, he's gonna disappear. Alright, cool. So with that, we get some stuff. Now, we did get one humanity from one of the things that we killed earlier, which is cool. Now we go on to our first boss. Nice. Look up here. Oh, actually, let's hope he doesn't jump down just yet. Let's go take care of these pesky crossbow guys that I forgot about. He's not moving just yet. He knows on the cusp of his trigger. He's right there. Ow. So, now we come down. And let's trigger the boss fight. Toros. Oh wow. Oh god. Probably I might die. Jesus Christ. I might actually die to the poison. Oh my god. Alright. That was a little embarrassing, but it's okay. Alright, so first death. Kind of how Dark Souls goes. I normally don't fight him. I know I'm just making excuses. It's okay. I normal playthroughs, I just go down to where Havel is. Oh, hello. Where'd you come from? Run back. This is bad. This is bad. No. Let's go back here and do everything again. So the fight does get a little bit more difficult now because I think he spawns immediately. Oh, nope, he's still up there. Alright, cool. So let's go and take care of these crossbow guys again. Got this Demon Great Axe. That's really cool. That's a really cool find at the very beginning of the game. So, Demon Great Axe. Carved from the bones of fellow demons, wielded by the lesser Taurus demons. This axe is imbued with no special power, but it can merely beat also hope, providing you have the strength to wield it. And how much strength do we need? 46. What are we at? 15. So it'll be a long time before we're even able to use that weapon, but it's cool to know that another soul of the lost and dead. And as we get out here, see the rays of the sun laying down here on the land of the Lorethrough, and we see a man who has also a sun on his chest.
Ah, hello. You don't look hollow, far from it. I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. You find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time. Oh, aha. So I didn't scare you. I have a proposition, if you have a moment. The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined. In a land brimming with hollows, could that really be mere chance? So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey? This pleases me greatly. Well then, take this. We are amidst strange beings in a strange land. The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But use this to summon one another as spirits, cross the gaps between the worlds, and engage in jolly cooperation.
Jolly
Of course, we are not the only
cooperation.
ones engaged in this, but I am a warrior of the sun. Spot my summon signature easily by its brilliant aura. If you miss it, you must be blind.
So he kind of gives us a white soapstone that kind of tells us about the co-op mechanic in this. In Lorethrough, the flow of time is distorted. Use the white sign soapstone. And the white soapstone sign soapstone allows undead to assist each other. So you can use this to get summoned in other worlds and whatnot. But he also tells us that the flow of time is convoluted. So things are always happening. People are coming in and out of different time zones or different time periods and different eras.
Oh, the sun is a wondrous body, like a magnificent father. If only I could be so grossly incandescent.
Grossly incandescent. Yes, me too, Solaire. I would love to be grossly incandescent.
Oh, hello there. I will stay behind to gaze at the sun. The sun is a wonder, if only...
So, this kind of makes people speculate a few things about Solaire and other things that we'll, kind of get into. We do know that Gwyn is the Lord of Sunlight and stuff like that. So, kind of makes you wonder why he calls it a father, why he called the sun a father. Now, as we get here, we get to a bridge. You look down, you see scorch marks, and you see enemies in the mist, but you see scorched bodies and other things like that, and kind of wonder, what is it here? Why is all this here? And you leave. Because you hear a dragon coming, and you die from it. Oh, well. All right, let's make the run back. I don't want to lose those 7,000 souls. Sir, please. Alright, well, this is gonna be rough. This is not good. Yeah. Alright, brother. No! Okay. All their bodies disappeared. Oh, oops. Oh, one of them had an item. That sucks. That's okay. Alright. Let's get back up through here and try not to die to the dragon again. Sorry, Drake. Is he there? Yes, he is. Alright, we're able to get our souls back. Let's try it here before the dragon spews fire. If we can. So now you get here. And let's just make it to where get to our first kind of check. Let's level up. We have a ton ton of souls to do so. Level up one more time. And I'm probably going to call it there. It's been an hour. I appreciate anybody who's been watching. And I'll probably be uploading this to YouTube or something maybe in the next few days. See how it, pans out and see how it comes out. I do appreciate anybody who's watching this or anybody that is here. Alright guys, stay safe, have fun.